Hi, welcome to Farm Talk Friday. I'm Ken Jordan. This is my beautiful and brilliant wife, Jivana.
Oh, thank you, honey.
How are you, Angel?
I'm good.
Fantastic. It is January 27th, 2023. We're just a couple that have moved here from the big city, and we're in Costa Rica. We've moved to the jungle, and we've got a little permaculture farm going on here, and we like to update you every week around this time. All right.
And just like 7 years ago.
We've been here 7 years.
But we didn't want to do this initially because what would we have to say?
That's right.
Like, hey, we're digging another hole in the dirt today.
Hi,
Kathy.
We've only been doing the Farm Talk Fridays almost 2 years. We will soon be having our 100th episode show. We'll let you know when.
I think that's like 3/4 of the way through the year, right? Or
that's not.
Or is it sooner?
That's not as soon as I'm.
No, I don't know. Maybe it's April. Who knows? But this year will be our 100th episode, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess if you do one every week, that you get there in 2 years.
Yeah.
Ken's just reading off our notes.
No, I'm totally not doing that.
Permaculture Principle number 7.
Yeah.
What do you got for us today?
We've been going through the 12 permaculture principles, and we are up to number 7. Permaculture principle number 7, which is designs from patterns to details. And all this really means is look at the big picture. It's like...
This is not necessarily the big picture, but from the Permaculture Pinup website, This is principle number 7, and that's Ainhara, and we used a lot of her artwork on the site. And so she's our model for number 7.
And if you can read backwards, you're doing great.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is basically just saying always keep the big picture in mind. Like, what do you want to do? What are your major objectives? Do you want to grow food for your family? Do you want to grow food for your friends? Do you want to just have beautiful gardens? Keep working from the big picture down to the small details. Do not start with the small details.
Don't start with the details.
Yeah, don't say, I like that pretty flower. Let's plant that pretty flower everywhere, because that might not that might not meet your needs for your big picture. So this is really a simple concept that you always need to keep in mind. It's just designs from patterns to details. And we're going to leave it at that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we have it.
All right.
Keep the big picture in mind.
The most exciting news of the week is right here.
Yeah.
Here it is.
This is not a Marignon.
Yeah, this is not a Marignon, which is a cashew fruit. This is not an apple, regular apple anyway. This is a water apple. These are common in Costa Rica. Our tree just finally started fruiting. The first 2 that came off it were very pink and not ripe, and they were very, sour, bitter.
Sour, and usually they taste like rose water.
Yeah, and so keep talking, honey.
Okay. Well, the flower of this tree is like the color of my lips right now. And I haven't seen any of these flowers, so I was surprised that the water apple tree had produced fruit this year. I was thinking that it might, because it's about that time. We've had that one for about 5 years. We have one closer to like this actual studio as well that's younger. We have 3 trees on the property, and this is our oldest one, so this is exciting.
So this is the 3rd one that came off it, and I'm going to try it live on Facebook Live.
How is it? Better than the last?
Perfect!
Yay! It was really, I don't want to say sad, but it was definitely disappointing to have our first 2 be so sour.
We were so excited to do the bite, and I was like, oh
Because these trees, when they go, I mean, they make a lot of fruit. So it's like, oh, do we have a bad tree? Oh no. Because we used to grow arugula, and for some reason we think that it's in our soil, but it's so bitter, the arugula here. And I like bitter, but like unedibly bitter.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, yay, success. Water apple success. Exito, as we would say down here.
It's got a white flesh inside. There's like a big seed right there.
Like Ken X.
And, you know, it is similar to an apple, but it's a totally different taste.
And it's
It
a
has
different texture.
Different texture as well. A little more airy, but not pithy, just a
Yeah.
lighter texture.
But it's very Snow White.
Yeah.
Snow White.
Yeah. Okay, and then we've grown these. We've shown you these and grown these before, but is this the big one or the small one of the pair?
This was the smaller of the. There was a.
So see right here, this was connected to a twin.
Yeah,
like
a Siamese
this,
twin.
That was bigger. There was these two giant jicamas together, and we cut off the other one and took it to a little community event. But yeah, we just harvested a good batch of jicamas.
And if you're curious as to what that looked like, I had done a Facebook Live earlier in the week showing it because it was just so incredible. It's like our staff, they were calling them monsters, and I mean it was just like look at this, like I can cover Ken's face with it.
All right, now in super
Woo, live TV,
in
Duke.
no way, Duke, how are you?
Duke.
And
Norman, hi Norman. Norman's like our one of our neighbors down here.
and also
Oh man, oh yeah, and like a rocket scientist.
and also
for
rocket
reals.
scientist. Hey Norm. Hey, also
Just got that dirty.
in super cute jungle animal news.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite animals, which I talk about all the time, is an agouti, which are these little like rodent,
Tailless rabbits.
rodent
With
rabbits
mouse ears.
with big butts,
Yeah.
but they're tiny. They're like this big. Anyway,
But their butts like this jicama. Like jicama butt.
normally they're just walking around
Jicama butt.
looking for things,
There's no tail.
and then when you come up upon them, they'll kind of walk off a little faster. But yesterday, I saw one flying by right out in front here, and they were doing these amazing high hops. And I'd never seen them go so fast and jump so high, and it was super exciting for me.
No, I know. Ken was super excited about it. He's all, it was hopping. It was leaping. And I thought that was very cute. And yeah, maybe Ken experiences them walking off fast, but they actually run really fast too. They sometimes just go. Phew. So yeah, the leaping agouti. I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you will one day, my
I
love.
will one day. So now it's on to my updates.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, Amanda Darling, a friend of ours that we saw in Crete this past summer, I think she's in Prague right now, but her track Supernova just came out. So congratulations, Amanda. And she's out there, you know, like...
And where can you find her
feminine
track?
vibes. Well, I just looked on Apple Music and I didn't see it. Instead I saw her latest track, which was Eternity, the one that came out before this one. So it's on Beatport, I think.
Okay, great.
But I don't know how like normal non-DJ people access it. Like
Anyone can get music.
go to her
from-
website, amandadarling.com.
But anyone can get music on Beatport. You don't have to be a DJ.
I know, it just seems like harder to me.
Okay.
Like I go to Beatport and I feel unmotivated to buy anything because I'm not a DJ. I just don't. It's like asking me to use like another platform that I don't use. I'm like, oh no, Ken, you buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hoses. Get Kinky. So I like making my husband laugh. They do, and it's kind of annoying. And
Like your blue scrunchy hose or just normal
no,
hoses?
normal hoses get kinky, and
Yeah, if you
so
buy cheaper hoses and then they sit around in this weather a lot, then they kink up easy. So,
But this
so
one's-
the big thick ones are better.
No, this one was thick and it's still
Was?
kinked. And so I wanted to get what he was just talking about, like these scrunchy ones. I was really excited. And overall it works great, except it has like the cheapest
Yes.
like top to it, and it's not uniform, so I can't put like a better top on it. So I have complaints about hoses today. So hoses get kinky, and that's a thing. And I've taken pictures with Katie Bunny before where we did like a little hoses get kinky set. It was really fun. That's on our Instagram for Permaculture Pinup. But I also want to talk about hoses, like who's designing these things, because the jet setting and the mist setting are right next to each other. And you would think that that's not a good placement, because when you're watering something really tiny and fragile and precious on mist, and then you're trying to change settings, and like the next set, if you go the wrong way, it's the jet setting, which is the most powerful setting.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
I have noticed,
Norman, please help these people out.
I have noticed that, and I have
Hi,
accidentally.
Suzanne.
I have accidentally jetted some things that I wanted misted.
Yeah, it's no good. I think there's a big opportunity for the children. Like Whitney Houston says, the children are our future. Like some parents, Suzanne, tell your children that there's an opportunity in the hose industry to make them less kinky and to fix that setting problem. I mean, like, why isn't it like a 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock thing? Like, why is it like 11 and 12 o'clock? It's just...
For
it
those of you
doesn't-
who have no idea what we're talking about, we're talking about the pistol.
Of
the,
a hose.
the sprayer pistol. And it's got a dial. And jet and mist are right next to each other. There's like 10 settings. Jet and mist are right there, and it's easy to get them mixed up.
It's nonsense. Okay, so this week in our community, our Jim and Catherine, they held this jackfruit harvesting and processing event, and we couldn't go. But we got, it was really exciting, and I said, please, it's just, it's democratic. They're like, who can do it during the day? And I couldn't. I said, nighttime would be better. So they're going to try and do something later for the community members that were not able to go. But we haven't had a jackfruit yet. And, but we should be getting some this year. And so I had wanted to go and, anyways, we got to enjoy jackfruit seed hummus from some of our community members after the event, because they learned it there. And they're all excited about jackfruit tacos. And we plan on making those for Zach, who we're bringing in. I don't know where he's from, actually, but Zach, I can't remember his last name, but he's Water Stories. And he's like this, I know, I didn't write down his last name or his details, but we are excited for you, Zach. 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 And we have jackfruit tacos on the menu when you get here. So he's going to help us create a kind of like eco-village wide water plan. So a lot of us have been doing our own things, and on this little prep sheet for him, these are all things that we think about anyway, but what he's going to do is this ties into Permaculture Principle number 7, the big picture.
Yes.
So he's going to help us with big picture, and then he's going to come to all of us individually, and they go down to the details. What a nice tie-in. That was not planned.
Good work, honey.
Thanks. In other news, mosquitoes have been kicking my ass this year. I shouldn't complain because Ken reacts much more to them. Mm-hmm. But I'm just not used to them landing on me or doing anything to me. And so kind of like my dress, I am polka dots. Like my legs and feet have all these little tiny polka dots all over them thanks to the mosquitoes. I don't know why they're out. It's dry season. So we need to maybe look at that, see if, I don't know, it just seems so random to me, but it'll be homework. Moonraking, I have been speaking about this now for a few weeks, and what I realized with moonraking, because I haven't done it yet, is you have to do it based off of the moon, and the moon's not always out when you might want to do some moonraking. We go to bed early. And so what I realized is that moonraking for me and my schedule will only happen closer to the full moon. So what we want is enough moonlight, and really like once it gets to the halfway point, that's pretty good. But it still needs to the moon still needs to come up in time or not be too late. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I need the moon up like when I'm done with dinner.
Yeah, moonraking,
and enough light from
only works when the moon is out.
Yes. And so sometimes, like right now, like the moon after sunset is like over here instead of over there, and that way it would set, and it's not big enough. It's waxing, but it's not enough light.
But I think it's a natural thing to do as it gets closer to full moon.
That's what I just said.
Closer to full moon, it's out earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So exactly. So I'm not able to do it yet, but as soon as I get some moonraking done, I'll let you all know. I will. Rhino Beetle drama. I won't get into this too much, but as a community, we're going to need to come together here at Rancho Delicioso. We were trying to handle it, Ken and I are we're like across the ravine from a lot of our neighbors in the community, and so we call this area Southeast Rancho, and there's just one other permanent household. Katie Bunny's over here, but she's only here half the time, and we have a couple other people that are coming in. But anyway, we're like, oh yeah, we'll handle it. Adriana was helping us make traps and manage it, and we have a problem. So Phoebe, one of our neighbors, was really concerned. She said,
Let's talk about what the problem is.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Well, we have.
Hi, Wade.
So all the palm trees here, and we have many types. We have coconut palms and several other types of palm trees. And this rhino beetle, which kind of has this thing coming out like a rhino, has been infesting the palms, and they go inside, burrow inside, lay eggs. And then
they eat the heart out.
Eat it from the inside, and the palms die from the inside. And we noticed it first when we had our first really great producing coconut tree, a coconut palm. We had a coconut palm that was really producing coconuts really well. We were super excited, and as soon as it started, it died. And it died.
That was sad.
We cut it down, and we saw these rhino beetles coming out, and then we did some research and found out these guys are really bad news. So we set up some traps, and we've been trapping, but they've been really infesting a lot of the palms around here, and not just right here, but all over this area. It's a serious problem. So we've got to figure out a way to get rid of them.
Yeah. So we learned that instead of having the traps so close, that we can put them in an area where there's no palm trees, and it should be 500 meters away from all of us, so that we're not attracting them.
But it is the dilemma. It's like some of the experts say, just put the traps where they're at, where the beetles are at, where the palms are at, and some experts say put the traps 500 meters away, and so we're not sure what the best way is. Currently, we have them both places.
Yeah.
We've had our traps on our property.
Hi, Francesco.
And that's worked pretty well, but we don't know. We don't know.
We're working on it, but it was sad the other day. One of our community members alerted us, hey, I feel like half the palms on this one road interconnecting our community are dying or sick. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And so on Orchard Care Day, which we do every Thursday as a community, our assignment that day was to take a walk and go look at them. And we know the signs, and it was half. So 26 palms, and it's really sad because the founders of the farm, one of them, Jasmine, she said, you know, I spent like $10,000 buying palms for this farm. And what they were doing with them is they were like creating the property lines initially. And so it's sad. So anyways, let's move on to something exciting and happy. We have caimitos that are coming, and this is super exciting because we love this fruit. And it's another kind of odd tropical fruit that you just, I mean, maybe they have it in the States, but we're not accustomed to eating it. So most of us, I would think, are not looking for it. And I had never had one until I got down here. And how would you describe the caimitos? I mean, they're
Okay, it's like a
purple, thick skin.
purple, the size of a small apple, and it's a thick skin that you don't eat. You take the purple off, and then inside are these like white, fleshy covered seeds. Right? Is that a good way to describe it?
Yeah, and they kind of look like some other fruit that Dave likes. What's that fruit?
Mangosteen.
They kind of are like mangosteens,
Yeah.
but they're different.
And they're so delicious, and we're really excited about our fruit coming in.
We're super excited. Yeah, so yay, caimitos. But Ken's like, what tree is it? And I showed him, he's like, oh. He's like, caimito trees get really big. And I said, oh yeah? I'm like, how do you know that? How did you know that? Like, there's one over...
There's a couple over, in between the River Palace and Wonderland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have several of these caimito trees. The other ones are small, and so we've always been told by anyone that we were buying trees from, they're like, you can keep trees small, but you really do need to, especially if like it's in their genes to be big, you need to like figure out that time, like when you cut the trees. So already, I think, not that we're like past the point, it's just that we're gonna have to kind of like top the caimito next season. So when it's fruiting, you don't want to prune something a lot, and definitely like topping it would be really extreme. So we want it to like do its thing, but you know, by this time next year, or actually we would want to do it probably in December, it might be significantly bigger according to Ken. So
And we could also start clearing out around it and let it get big.
but we have other fruit trees.
All right. So
Like our water apple tree.
We'll try to keep it
The
small.
water apple tree also gets
Yeah.
big. They're like right next to each other.
We'll try to keep them small and let you know how it goes.
Yes. And yeah, Francesco's saying pest control versus organic farming is challenging. It is. So what we're doing for those rhino beetles is we have these pheromone traps, and we use sugarcane or molasses in them. Molasses is stickier, and so we like to use the sugarcane so they're easier to clean. But definitely, you know, we have some of the members screaming for, you know, I think it was just like a emotional reaction one of our community members had the other day of like, I just want to use insecticide, you know, and there's most of the rest of us are like, that is not what I thought we were all coming here to live together for. But, you know, sometimes like you do kind of have like crazy reactions sometimes. Like I know I've had, I don't know, like a long time ago, I brought orchids into the house, and this was a long time ago, like maybe right when I met Ken. I had several orchids in our house, and I had just started to do this this Japanese style of like compost tea, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I made the tea, and you're supposed to dilute it, and they didn't, and so I killed all the orchids, and then like we had this infestation of houseflies, and I kind of lost my mind, and I had to go drive myself down the hill this day. I mean, I couldn't deal with it, and we had a friend that had like a green shop, like a eco, and she carried some kind of like more eco-friendly pesticide, you know, fly spray, Raid, eco-friendly Raid. I don't know what it was made of, like cinnamon. But I mean, like I went home and I was like a mass murderer, you know, I was like, shh. And I felt really bad, but I was I lost it. And I just kind of feel like maybe our community member was having a moment like that of like, oh my God, all of our palms are dying. Insecticide. So anyway, no natural predators for the beetles. Yeah, you know, someone was saying something about that the other day, and we'll look into that. Like, there's some sort of parasitic wasp. I'm not sure if we have access to it.
There is a natural pesticide, and it's called fire.
It's called fire. Oh, fire. Right. Unfortunately, when you have 26 palms, this is like we have to hire people to help us remove these, and like that's not something we can handle, I think, on our own. And like that would be a gigantic fire, and the fire station is an hour and a half away. So, so we're...
Well, yeah, there's rarely fires here because the area overall is just so humid and so moist. So there's never too much dry brush to catch fire.
Yeah.
You rarely hear of fires out of control in Costa Rica.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, we still need to be careful with that. It is dry season. Hi, Hope. Good to see you. Okay, so 2 more updates. We have our Mercado Delicioso this Sunday. So that's our community market that we've been doing. We try to do it like once a month-ish. And this week, I will be there with Club Jab. I'm going to run the free table, like things that we're giving away, and then I'll have actually some jab, jackass bitters or gavilana is the name that is used here, and I'll be giving that away as well. So it's medicine to help us kick out our parasites. And I think I showed that image last week. Jab, jab. But for the final update, I hope you're going to like this. And actually, Francesca, if you're still on, you should like this too. I'm really excited to show this. It's going to be part of Frody Fest this year. And it is, I got the logo done, the Posey Hibiscus Death Cafe. So it's...
That's super exciting. It looks great.
You see it? Okay.
Get it up closer. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So this is a possum who, you know, like kind of Grateful Dead, you know, possum with like tea or coffee in the background, and hibiscus as an umbrella.
Did you use AI to make this, honey?
No, I hired a real person. So we are feeding a human being by making this, but I'm really excited about it. I think it turned out really cute. It's exactly what I wanted. And so what happened is that Ken and I witnessed the death of a possum a few years ago. We were coming out of our restaurant and we saw somebody like hit this possum, and they didn't...
Our friends, actually.
Well, we've never told them. It would like devastate them. They had no idea. They're older. We just didn't tell them. So anyway, so we saw it. So we stopped and we pulled over, and this thing was like cartoon style. You know, I mean, it was like that. It was awful. And so, you know, I get out there and I'm like,
we're laughing, but it wasn't bad.
It was, yeah, like, we were not laughing at the time. We were like, hey, buddy, I know that was a hard hit, and I'm here with you, and I'll be with you. You just make your decision on what you want to do here. And, you know, finally it stopped flinching and kind of gave up. And as soon as it like was like, now I'm done. Oh, I'm dead. You know? I was like, okay, like, let's make it beautiful. And Ken knows the drill. And so we're like, what do we do to make it beautiful? And there was a lot of hibiscus here. So we got hibiscus from the closest hibiscus tree, and we like decorated it with hibiscus and said some nice things to it. And then it was stiff enough, and we pulled it over to the side of the road, and we just made a little vigil. And, you know, hopefully my favorite bird, the vulture, got it the next day. And, you know, the cycle of life.
That's right. Also, just one thing for the end is go to the Farm Talk Friday YouTube channel.
Yes.
Where every single Farm Talk Friday episode is at. We'll post the link.
But I wasn't done with my Posey Hibiscus.
That wasn't the last one?
Well, no, I am. It is the last one, but I'm not done with what it is.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I just told the story of, so I call it, Posey for possum, and then hibiscus because we decorated it with hibiscus.
Yeah.
And then the Death Cafe is this concept where you bring people together and you have like tea or coffee or whatever, a tonic, and you get to talk about death. Yay. And so this year for Frody Fest, I really wanted to have some sort of workshop, and actually I had asked Hope if she wanted to do something with me. So we'll be hosting something online, and so it might be like the creation of a will going through like freewill.org, or it could be various things. I haven't decided yet with Hope. We haven't had a lengthy conversation and planning party over it yet, but yeah, that. We have the logo for it though. So I'm really excited about that.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks. And we'll talk about Frody Fest some other time.
All right. For my beautiful wife, Jivana, I'm Ken. This is Farm Talk Friday. See you next week.